disintegrating gas.
I believe I could work out a counter gas that would be quite harmless. And it...
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday night Scream Stream mini-sode. I am your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
We are great. Happy to be here. Happy to be screaming into another Whispering Shadow episode.
Yeah, I like the contrast there. I mean, that's how we should, that's how we should do the rest of these Wednesday nights from here on out, is just throw we just need to throw a whole bunch of screaming and whispering at the audience and see how they handle it. Let's just see.
We cannot modulate the volume of our voices.
Every once in a while we're just talking and then then we get sure the stream what are they doing. But no, we'll try to we'll try to modulate it. We'll try to sneak up on you when you least expect it. But welcome.
That was a good scream.
Well, no, I could have done. I need to practice.
I enjoyed it.
I'm not doing my vocal warm ups. It's really want to get it just right. You want to hit that right pitch. You got to kind of, it's not as easy as the scream queens make it look in the movies.
You don't want to pull something.
Right. You think scream queens in real life just scream like that? No, you're going to pull something if you scream like that. I mean, life or death situation, it makes sense, but when you're just having fun, it might be a little much. But we'll sprinkle that in throughout the season, because we are, we're in our second installment of our season 8 minisodes tonight. I see Foss TTV is over in the house over on YouTube or Twitch. Nice to see you. Thanks for hopping in the chat. Yes, Lugosi, as we saw last week, this is a early Lugosi serial that we've got, because Wednesday nights this season we are watching The Whispering Shadow with Bela Lugosi and
young Bela Lugosi.
Young,
old Bela Lugosi.
Definitely in his prime, to be sure. He, again, like we said last week, 2 years after Dracula, 2 weeks, he'd really be looking pretty fresh. And
honestly, if you told me that, I would believe it.
And let's not forget the man's in his 40s here. So, I mean, maybe close to 50s, if not in his 50s. So he was killing it for, this to be prime Lugosi. Ethan over in the chat on YouTube. What's up, Ethan?
What's up?
Got some activity in the chat tonight. Always love to see it. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody hopping in as always. This is a nice way to unwind the week. And we always, again, when we can serve up some Lugosi every Wednesday night, it's always good. Anytime we can bring you a horror star every Wednesday, it's a nice. And we've done that a fair amount with our serials. I mean, this is our second Lugosi serial. We've had a anthology hosted by Karloff. We've had an anthology hosted by Lon Chaney Jr. We've Undersea Kingdom had Lon Chaney Jr. So we like to spend our Wednesday nights with the greats, if we can. And then eventually
during some of their off seasons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about last week. My mind was blown to learn that this was the most that Lugosi was ever paid for a role, was his role in The Whispering Shadow, which is
he's killing it as Dr. Strang,
which is a great, possible
Dr. Strange, Dr.
possible villain name. I know I've heard that name with other like villains, I think before a villain, I'm not sure. But it's a good villain name, or villain or waxwork proprietor. Right. Yeah, well, again,
Dr. Strangler.
If you're a waxwork proprietor, you're,
there you go.
That's a good name
for
him.
He's an artist.
He is. He's an artist and maybe a mastermind murderer, I guess he's a criminal mastermind. I guess the Whispering Shadow has his own gang.
He's got a like little Legion of Doom.
But he's picking them off, or at least he was in the last at like two different points in the first chapter. I think he killed his own guys. So maybe he had to clean house a little bit to really take over the world. You want to make sure you got the right people in your ranks. So
yeah, somebody else to get a promotion.
Right, exactly. It's
so we've got a bunch of suspects. Has there been an actual crime yet in our mystery serial?
Well, he that's what I'm saying. He killed a couple guys, didn't he?
Okay.
So that's, unless because they were also criminals, you think it cancels out and it's not technically a crime. Then
are the police going to be investigating it? As I think maybe
probably not. But I mean, they're hot on the trail of these radio waves, and they know where they're coming from. They just don't know how they're getting sent out, which is like a weird. I don't know how it works. Don't even ask me. Here we are running a live stream, and I couldn't tell you how they're using radio waves to kill people in 1933. But here we are. It's happening. And it was kind of cool last time the way that worked, and seeing the little animated things like coming out of the giant antenna. It's kind of ridiculous, but fun.
Radio waves.
Radio waves, yeah. You see them; they always look like that, right?
See them every day,
right? So I mean, I've enjoyed that, and the Whispering Shadow itself, so far they've fulfilled that, moniker. We haven't
had a whispering villain before, I don't think.
No, and not a masked villain, or a villain that we don't know the identity of. This is the first time that we've had this.
That's true. They're also, if this is a whodunit and one of the people, like one of the characters we've seen already, is the Whispering Shadow, they're whispering by choice, not because they have to. I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Well, kind of worse if you think that an adequate way to disguise your voice is just a whisper. Is that gonna... I mean, I'm sure he's putting a little bit of gruff in there. Whispering like this. I don't know. I can't remember what he sounded like. I just remembered that he whispered. But it was effective. It was good. He has been popping in and out in a pretty good frequency so far. So we'll see just what shenanigans the Whispering Shadow is up to tonight.
Yeah, I hope it keeps it up.
Tonight's
You
installment is entitled "The Collapsing Room." So, we as we discovered on one of our earlier serials, they have a tendency sometimes to name the episode of what the cliffhanger is, which makes it
Yeah.
kind of like you're waiting for something to happen. You're like waiting for whatever they're saying in the thing, and a lot of time. But I will say when that doesn't happen, it's a
Anytime we
pleasant
have
surprise.
anytime the characters are in a room, just wait for it to collapse.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'll be on the edge of my seat, and if it happens earlier than we expected, then it's a nice payoff. I'm not gonna complain, because every once in a while that does happen when we watch these. They pay it off earlier than we expect. It's like, all right, how's this gonna end? Now the ending's a mystery, but usually you can predict that the title's gonna correspond with the cliffhanger at the end. So, but you never, wait on the edge of your seat. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, luckily, characters are never in rooms, so.
No, well, very rarely. They're always running around from one spot to another, as we found out. And of course, men in fedoras running around. I mean, this is pretty much par for the course from what you get out of most of these serials. And we've got a hero, but I can't tell you his name. I can just tell you that he's trying to avenge the death of his brother. That's all.
Wasn't that Robert Raymond?
Really? Was that?
Wasn't that the detective?
Oh, yeah. So there's a detective, right? There's Robert Raymond. That's right. He said it weird. But then there's like the young guy who was like the part of the truck drivers, or his brother. He's part of that company, and then his brother was a truck driver. His brother got killed, and he's like, and he said it multiple times, like the Whispering Shadow killed my brother, and I've got to, something like that.
Very dramatically.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of line readings incredibly dramatic just in the first chapter that we saw. Every time somebody said the Whispering Shadow, they had to put their own sauce on it. The Whispering Shadow.
I really hope they keep that going through this entire
series. That'll be a lot of fun. I mean,
it's probably my favorite part.
Again, it kind of helps to keep it up in the air who the villain could be, who's saying the Whispering Shadow the most villainous way. That's probably going to be our culprit. And we've got a fair number of suspects. I mean, as just one chapter in, I mean, I'd say we've got half a dozen, if not close to.
We've got a guy with a death ray.
10.
We've got a comic relief doofy radio operator.
Yeah. Well, and if this is anything like Undersea Kingdom, our comedy relief will disappear for the next 7 or 8 episodes and then come back.
It's probably not him.
Nah, probably. Well, we'll see. Maybe it's all an act. Who knows?
We'll see.
That's the beauty of this being a mystery. We usually know who our villain is. So here from week to week, we get to kind of readjust the standings, the leaderboard, as it were, and figure out just who this killer is. But we just had fun with the first chapter, and so we've got 11 more to go. So we will see just what happens tonight in the collapsing room. But anything before we get into it tonight, Evan?
So I think tonight's drinking game, forget all the other rules. Tonight's drinking game is take a drink every time the characters are in a room.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I think it's a pretty, it'll keep you on your toes. So, hope everybody's prepared. I hope you've got your drinks nearby. On that note, Evan, if you have it queued up.
I do.
All right, then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of The Collapsing Room, Chapter 2 of The Whispering Shadow, right now. With. See, you can't say starring Bela Lugosi. You got to say with Bela Lugosi. Get it? You got to get it right. Two directors, I feel like, makes sense for a serial when you've got so much to do. Let's see how just one man could be managing all that running back and forth. Professor Strang, his daughter. What do they mean? Who's his? His isn't a character.
Jack Foster, our
Yeah, Jack Foster is our yes.
Malcolm McGregor.
Ooh. I like that. Oh, here we go. Recap. Ooh, a little scrolling recap.
To kill. Well, not much of a scroll.
Death rate. Jasper. When we need to bring back Jasper, the name Jasper. I wanna see a whole wave of babies named Jasper. Yep, Robert Raymond. He's famous. Traffic manager. My brother was murdered by the Whispering Shadow, and I will have my revenge. Oh, Lugosi looks great. Very candid. Wait, what are they guarding? Oh, okay. We're picking up where we left off last time. Duh.
What are you doing here? I told you the Whispering Shadow was going to attack the warehouse tonight. You evidently expected him to come in the front door. No, but I have guards posted all around the building. There's no telling where he may strike. Have you any clue as to who the Whispering Shadow is? No, but I know what he is. An electrical genius, master of radio and perhaps television. What on earth could he want in this warehouse? I can only guess. Something of tremendous value, hidden somewhere in this building. And I certainly hope you catch it. I'll be in my office if you want me.
In his office. Oh.
He's the shadow.
Oh, Mr. Raymond! Mr. Raymond! We just found the marksman tied up in the basement. Whispering Shadow, sound the alarm.
Nice. Is she trapped? Got her. What? I think so fast. I think Lugosi always knows. Maybe we didn't. We haven't picked up from the last episode. Because remember the last episode there was an airplane and they were on the roof. Oh, there he is. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right. It was the weird airplane, right?
Right.
Helicopter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Oh! What? Did he land on the roof? Okay, they're landing on the roof. I'm like, they did not just land on the ground.
Quick! Don't let him get away. Why, it's Mr. Jerome. So it is. You can let him loose. Mr. Jerome is above suspicion. In a mystery of this sort, Mr.
Above suspicion.
I know he isn't. He killed the radio operator. I saw him.
That's a lie. Now, just a minute. When did this happen?
Just before the Shadow's men attacked. Sparks saw them and started to give the alarm. But Jerome struck him down.
I didn't know it was Sparks. I thought it was one of the Shadow's men.
Well, let's go upstairs and...
Sparks? Was that the goofy guy?
Was that his name?
I like it. They wouldn't have killed him off after the first episode. Now that would be bold. Just kill your comic relief in the first chapter. No comic relief. We're denying you of all
This
comic
is a
relief.
serious show.
A serious serial. What the hell?
Oh, he's fine.
Oh, gee. I nearly had it. So, this is the man I killed, is it? A pretty live-looking corpse.
Is he the man who knocked you down?
I don't know.
What? Didn't you see him?
No. If he had been where I could see him when he hit me, I wouldn't have got hit.
We might need to take him to the hospital, get him checked for
It's been
concussion.
accusing me to cover his own guilt.
Oh, he's always like this.
I know what I'm saying. The Whispering Shadow is a radio genius, isn't he? Well, Steinbeck answers that description. And he's got a private broadcasting radio behind that door.
It isn't a private radio. It belongs to the company and is used for experimental work only. Mr. Bradley knows that.
That is true. Any objection to our having a look?
Not at
You
all.
can't tell me that guy's not a villain with that mustache. Come on.
This hat cocked sideways and that mustache.
There you are, Mr. Raymond.
Snidely Whiplash.
No, you don't. What did I tell you, Raymond? He's trying to conceal this paper. Foreign language. Can you translate this?
My God. Whoa, okay. I wish I could do that. That's cool.
Yeah. That's why he's famous. He's got those Google Translate eyes.
My goodness, this print is so blown out.
Then why did he try to hide it?
Because
That one guy's like his face is like translucent.
And I'm surprised, Raymond, that a detective of your standing...
Especially from far away. Oh.
He's the real Phantom.
Are you the famous
He's
detective,
invisible.
Mr. Robert Raymond?
That's my name.
Oh, then you are the man I'm looking for. Maybe you can solve this puzzle for me.
Seemed like he had some lines there they cut off. He's just gonna bash him about. I can't solve puzzles for you, you idiot. I'm trying to solve a murder. I'm trying to figure out who this criminal mastermind is.
Stand back.
Ooh.
Murders are nothing like puzzles.
Ah. There's just people just jumping out from everywhere to get this package. Oh. Oh, nice. Oh, here we go. Getting out of the studio again. You getting some location shooting.
Isn't down below either. I'd rather be shot than go back and tell the Shadow we lost it. We may be shot when we do tell him. If the police don't capture us first, we certainly are in a tough spot.
Well, let's keep these caps and goggles on for just, you know, a little bit longer.
Twinsies.
Oh goodness.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god. So speaking of cliffhanger, let's take a break right there.
Okay.
Right there. I'm at 10:33. We're gonna get a little cliffhanger within a cliffhanger. Ooh, what do you think of that? Yeah. So first half of the collapsing room. What are we thinking so far, Evan?
I mean, I'm still in awe of that little stunt. I mean, did you see that? The guy just jumped into that car.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because like there was so much like people running like going back and forth, and I just saw one guy tumble like under the car or near the car, and I was just like, oh my god. They're
Yeah,
definitely
they're really going for it. Like
um
the last serial we watched, Undersea Kingdom, I mean that had a bit of stunt work, right?
a definitely good amount. Most
A lot of horses at least.
right, a lot of horses, and then yeah, I mean a lot of like at least by Crash Corrigan himself, a lot of crashing around into people, and just kind of turning his body into a cannon, basically, a cannonball. But yeah, I mean I would say that there's definitely some more kind of, even I can't remember what it was last episode, but last episode there was some kind of stunt that I was like, oh shit, I can't remember. I don't remember if they were like somebody running down a hill. I don't remember what it was. It was like, oh, all right, that's pretty vigorous stunt. So yeah, right there, you just saw some, and hopefully when we come back, they're keeping that up. But that was that was definitely way to get the energy up. Some real dangerous stunts. And when I was doing a little bit of research for this last week, there was some information about the people who did the stunts for this, because they did the stunts for a lot of serials. And maybe for this company in particular, Mascot. So I will recollect that information in one of our later episodes and bring that, because we will see more of this stunt work, again. And I'm sure when we get our clip shows, we'll just see a lot of those fun stunts repeated over again. So if it happened a little fast and you kind of missed some stuff like I did, don't worry. You're going to see it all again in, at least like
a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like not very long, honestly, by chapter 4, which will be a few weeks, but, only like 2 episodes from this, we'll already be at our first clip show. So it'll be fun. But hey, if the stunts are anywhere as good as that, they keep them coming, then if you make it a full clip show of stunts by the end, it'll be worth it. But we'll see. Only a little bit of Lugosi here. He kind of like popped out for a second and kind of like and then ducked back out again. So that was
not really. I haven't seen too much of him.
No, I'm sure he'll pop back in at the end, do something suspicious. He might have something to do with that collapsing room. That seems like a Lugosi thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. He was voted most likely to collapse a room in high school.
Well, and he actually did collapse a room in the movie The Raven. That is kind of the big climax. Is his character is a madman who's like obsessed with Poe. So he's created all these like Poe inspired torture devices in his basement, and then is like killing his like rival and like his like all of his enemies, and one of them is like a room that like shrinks, like the walls close in. And so that's a fun little torture. Lugosi at his torturous best, anytime he's torturing people with glee, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, the Raven is kind of like the pinnacle of that, unfortunately. Like the Raven is it's okay. It's not great. And it has nothing to do with the Edgar Allan Poe story. None of the none of those early adaptations have anything to do. The Black Cat has nothing to do with The Black Cat by Poe. But you know, I mean, any excuse to use Poe's name for advertising purposes, it was going to be used by Universal and AIP and any studio that could milk it. They did. But it's public he's public domain. So why wouldn't you just say, hey, this is adapted from an Edgar Allan? Just easy. Edgar Allan Poe's blank. Doesn't even have to be Edgar Allan Poe. Roger Corman proved that with The Haunted Palace.
Yeah, you can just lie.
You can just
say
lie.
He wrote anything.
Even though it'd be arguably more interesting to say this is a H.P. Lovecraft movie than a Poe movie, but leave it to American International to keep a good thing going. If you have a series of Poe movies, just keep it Poe. You don't need to be deviating.
Can we make something like H.P. Lovecraft's Fall of the House of Usher?
Oh, there you go.
Netflix is doing that.
Well, I mean, it's funny. That's kind of, I haven't seen it. I know, shame on me, but it's a mashup of like different Poe stories and thematic elements, I believe.
It's crazy that they would put H.P. Lovecraft's name on that, though.
I mean, man, he, commodities. Well, maybe a little bold, maybe a little dangerous. I mean, obviously, as we know, he's not the most, not the most, what's the word? Try to be diplomatic about this. I don't know. H.P. Lovecraft just doesn't. Not everything holds up. Let's just say it that way. Unfortunately, but you've certainly read more Lovecraft than I have. I wouldn't know.
Famous writer and notable racist H.P. Lovecraft.
Right. That's right. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's still, you can't have anything good without having anything bad. What is this? That's the world these days. But so far, I mean, I don't know. We'll see if anybody can do a H.P. Lovecraft mashup with Edgar Allan Poe. Just mash everything up, Just now that all the strikes are over and they're approving AI performances. Now let's just bring Bela Lugosi back in the next adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Color from Outer Space. Doesn't that sound fun? No,
yeah,
it actually,
you don't write it, the intern will.
Sounds awful. Yeah, the intern. Yes, Chathu. Oh yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how the second half of this shakes out. We're gonna go to this little break. So we don't have any more trailers for Lugosi serials. We only have the 3, unfortunately. He did one other serial entitled Shadow of Chinatown, but I could not find a trailer for that. So I don't know if we'll watch it, but no trailers. So we're gonna pivot to a very familiar trailer. Well, it's the content in the trailer will be familiar. We're gonna see the trailer for Undersea Kingdom, which again, just making the comparisons between Undersea Kingdom and the Whispering Shadows. So might as well give a little refresher of what we experienced with Undersea Kingdom. This trailer's got it, so just takes the best bits of 12 chapters, which admittedly, best bits probably in only 5 of those chapters. I mean, I don't know. Undersea Kingdom wasn't bad, but it was, it could be a little filler too. Like I'm sure this will end up being.
But all these serials end up being just full of filler.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna? But we're gonna enjoy this trailer for Undersea Kingdom, and then when we come back, we get into the exciting conclusion of the Whispering Shadow, the what is it? The collapsing room. So stick around. We'll be right back.
We're down 2,500 feet. Good. Another 2,000 feet, I can stop the counteracting ray. We'll never make it. The submarine will be crushed. Get hold of yourself, Joe. There's no danger. Why, of course not. Oh, you're all mad. If we go any deeper, the submarine will crash like the shell of an egg.
It's a deep-sea craft from the upper world, Your Majesty. Shall I destroy it?
Turn on the magnetic ray and bring them down into Atlantis. All right, Corrigan. This is your last chance. Tell your friends to hand over that timing powder or I'm gonna ram through those gates. Go ahead and ram. Ram the gate!
We're trapped!
And we are back. So that was the trailer for Undersea Kingdom, and yeah, it takes us back, doesn't it?
Yeah, that show, it sure does look exciting.
Yeah, again, like I was not exaggerating when I said they take all the best parts. They really did. And, Sweet Feet in the chat over on Twitch. Sup, Sweet Feet. Yes, they did. They took all the best parts and made a pretty good trailer out of it. But you know, we yeah, I mean, it was nice to see the robots again, our old friends, and you know, those spaceships.
Volkites with their disintegrator ray.
Yeah, and you know, you even got to see a little Lon Chaney Jr. there too. So
Yeah.
that's also they really were made sure to get the best parts of the whole thing. You know, a little bit of Lon Chaney Jr. just being the best little henchman he could be. He did a pretty good job. But you know, we are. Fortunately for us, we're all out of the sea now. We're dry. We're finally dry from that experience, and so you know now with Lugosi, I mean we're just running around all over Los Angeles right now. It seems like, which I will say that's the one thing between the two episodes of this that we've watched so far that I do really appreciate is the fact that we're getting a lot of action on location, out and about, like you know, in a way that I guess we saw with like the Phantom Creeps, and you know, I mean, again, like you pointed out earlier with Undersea Kingdom, it was a lot of like on horseback. But I mean, here, I mean, it seems like we're going downtown. And then we're, and we're on some street, going down Mulholland Drive last time, make it literally triggering
We
my
got cars
nausea.
this time.
Yeah,
We
right.
traded up.
Exactly. We did. So that's one thing I am appreciating about this so far, even if it does lack just a tiny bit in the Lugosi department. But again, we'll see. Fingers crossed that he's gonna have something to do with this collapsing room. It seems only fitting.
I mean, they paid so much for him. Surely they're gonna use them at some point.
You would think, but again, when you have 12 chapters to fill out, and I mean, they shot in 12 days, basically. I think something like that. I think I read 18. I think I've read 12 and I've read 18. I don't know what it was, but
either way, not a ton of days.
Not a ton of days. Not not to fill basically like 240 minutes. Or is it that long? I don't know if it's that long, but it's pretty long. So we'll see. Just we'll see what they can do here at the end of this chapter. Anything before we get into it, Evan? Any predictions? Any thoughts on our? I mean, we haven't seen any of the shadow this episode.
Yeah. We also haven't seen any room.
Nope. No, we haven't.
Just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah, that's actually a lie. We were all up in that building for the first like 7 or 8 minutes. It was a while. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do. All right. If on that note, if you have it queued up, Evan,
I do.
we're gonna go ahead and did I give you my timestamp?
You did.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of The Whispering Shadow, Chapter 2, The Collapsing Room, right now. We're fighting, we're grappling, we're punching.
Fighting on location.
Oh, choking it.
He can't be the Whispering Shadow. This is Slade, the jewel thief. He just escaped from the penitentiary.
But he had the package the Shadow Men were after. The same package, all right.
The package.
It's empty. Empty?
Empty.
Empty.
And the girl who? What girl? None of your business. He means Strang's daughter. She must have emptied the package before Slade grabbed it from her. Mr. Jerome, you'll have to take Slade back to town alone and turn him over to the police. I'm gonna beat the girl to her father's house and nail the Shadow with the goods.
I'm gonna avenge my brother's death. Damn, look at him go.
If it's the last thing I
let the
do.
girl trick you, you fool. Get into that car. We've got to act quickly.
Hello?
You fool.
Let me have the intelligence department. Hello, is that you, Mac? This is Raymond speaking. I want you to look up Alexis Steinbeck. Find out what his foreign connections are. See if he has a criminal record. Okay, Mac. I'll keep in touch with you. Come in.
Found this girl hiding downstairs and she refused to give an account of herself.
I'll take care of this, John.
Okay, Mr. Raymond.
Well, Miss Strang, I suppose you realize that a serious charge can be brought against you.
What? Trespassing?
Oh, no. Nothing quite so simple as that. I know that you came here to help your father steal the jewels of the Tsar.
I don't
The
know what
Tsar?
you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. And you're going to make a complete confession before you leave this room. We have very conclusive proof that your father is the Whispering Shadow.
You suppose the Whispering Shadow is really Professor Strang? Who knows? No one has ever seen the Shadow.
You haven't any proof. You're just bluffing.
You'll change your mind about that when the jail doors close behind you.
Oh, no, she won't. Keep your
Uh-oh.
that gun. This way, miss. Quick.
Says looking like Hinchman.
I know, I love it.
Get into that closet.
How long have they been wearing these things? You were wearing them on the roof earlier. Just make him go into a closet. Nice. And lock the door. Oh, here we go. Back in the wax museum. Oh, yeah. It's Lugosi time. Mm. Oh, shit.
Any message from the shadow yet? There he is now.
Never mind taking your places. We must act quickly. Foster is at the house of mystery, interfering with my plan.
Mr. Foster. Come in. Sorry to have kept you so long. I was just ready to retire.
Don't try to bluff, Strang. I'm here for a showdown, and you know it.
Showdown? My dear Mr. Foster, I don't understand.
Then see if you can understand this. I have reason to believe you're the Whispering Shadow. Tried to rob the warehouse tonight.
How do you dare to make such...
And your daughter got away with the loot.
Lugosi would have been great in a sitcom.
Get away. Young man, you're not only frightened but ridiculous. My daughter has been home all evening.
I suppose you can prove that.
My daughter's not in her room.
She retired an hour ago.
He would have been perfect for a sitcom.
Bela? Bela? There you are. Sound asleep. Now, Mr. Foster, I bid you good night.
Just a minute. I don't know how your daughter managed to get here ahead of me, but I do know she was in the warehouse tonight. Take off that dressing gown. You're coming with me.
You're looking way too fancy. You can't wear that out.
Mr. Foster, you're making the greatest mistake of your life.
Big mistake. Huge.
My daughter!
Oh, shit.
Slave!
Some music would be
I know,
great.
it really would be. Even some sound effects there.
Keep your motor running and see that we aren't interrupted.
Ooh.
Whoa. Jackie Chan over here.
Oh, it's too fun. Flying and ducking and dodging and diving. Love it. Flipping.
That's how you know it's a good fight. People start flipping around.
And jumping off of things. Getting on top of furniture and jumping off. Yeah. That's essentially what this is, man. Oh.
I thought he was gonna jump off the
Now you're
banister.
going to explain?
Uh-oh.
What?
The walls are moving.
Isn't there any way to stop them?
No! They come together!
Why do you have that in your house? What's the practical purpose of this?
This is my death room.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I don't think that's gonna hold. Oh, that'd be terrifying to be the actors. Ah, oh shit! That balsa wood just snapped like like a coffin from Coffin Flop. Dang. Wow, that was it, man. Crazy. Wow, well, that was the exciting conclusion of The Whispering Shadow, The Collapsing Room. What did we think, Evan?
What a cliffhanger we've got.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. But you're 100% right. Some music there would really be appreciated, cuz I mean, it's just like severely like noticeable when you just you don't even have sound
Lacking a
effects.
certain something.
Yeah. I mean, the other serials that we have watched were all made after this. So by the time, the ones that we've already watched, it was like obvious, you got to put music in these things, but I think
They figured it out.
I think in the case of this, it was obviously cheaper to just go ahead and go sans score and just put it out. But
That's how they afforded all these acrobats for the fight.
yeah, man. I mean, you gotta love it. I'm not gonna complain if it's 10 more weeks of that. I mean, again, I know at least 3 of those weeks are, because it's just gonna be a greatest hits compilation. But it's still, I could watch that same fight over and over again. It's fun to watch them. Yeah, fly all over the room, man. My goodness. All these stunt doubles. Stunting all over
So
the
who's
place.
looking more suspicious? Or maybe less suspicious?
So there was the old man that was with the criminal, and they had the package. And so I don't know why because didn't that old man like work for the radio company or something, or he's somehow I don't know who he is, but he's somehow like he's supposed to be like a good guy. Like the hero didn't know that he was like working for the bad guys, because he left that other bad guy with him. He's like, all right, you're gonna take him back into town or something. I was like watching that. I was like, he's the one who's like with this criminal in the first place. Like, you came upon him with this criminal. Does that not raise red flags for you? I was like, all right, you're gonna take him back, right? Yep, I'm gonna take him back into town.
Take care, Faust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, Faust. Appreciate it, as always. Yeah, it's. Oh man, yeah, Faust. If you want to enjoy, constant Wednesdays of grappling and fighting, and a little bit of Lugosi. That's what these Wednesdays are. So thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, the little bit of Lugosi we got wasn't bad. He was doing his thing.
Yeah. We got those nice close-ups, some great Lugosi expressions.
Yeah, I loved that. I mean, I wish they could have been close-ups, like, more like when he did the expressions, they could have been in close-ups, but they were still good. But it was,
Yeah.
I mean, he did that great, like, me face, that again, I only see that in sitcoms. So I love seeing Lugosi do that. Moi, I was like, all right, this is. I mean, and that's the beauty of being able to play on Lugosi's image, right? Like, the fact that everybody's gonna think that he is the bad guy, or that he is, guilty of something. So when he's acts like totally innocent, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, right. We know you're up to something. Don't try to act all innocent.
We don't know what it is yet, but we know you're up to something.
Yeah, we just immediately like parents, like, we don't know what you've done, but we know you've done something. You better tell us right now. Yeah, I don't know, Lugosi. I mean, he was trying to get those jewels, right? Or that's what they are, right? The Tsar's jewels.
Yeah.
I don't know when those. I don't know why those are important to world domination or a waxwork owner or because it seems like a few different factions are wanting these jewels. So I guess the jewels are MacGuffin for this serial. Like every serial, every serial has had one, I believe. I can't remember what. No Phantom Creeps had one. I can't remember what it was, but they were all running around trying to get something. Or
was it something in a briefcase?
Yeah, it was something like that. Can't remember. Yeah, it was something in a briefcase or some kind of case, and they were all going after it. And I don't remember. I don't think Flash Gordon had that, but it's a nice little device, It gives us something to get, invested
Something
in.
to chase after.
On top of figuring out who this murderer is. And yeah, outside of, I don't know. Obviously the Snidely Whiplash looking motherfucker is suspicious, but I think by design. And as they say, it's always the person you least suspect, right? So I don't know.
It was a meteorite, wasn't that it?
Yeah, that sounds right. In Phantom Creeps, it was a meteorite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that, or didn't remember that. Again, these serials. Phantom Creeps was pretty good. I'd probably need to go give it another watch. It's been a minute. It's it's not too bad, but
that one probably had the best goofy looking robot of all.
That's true. The most expressive. The look of that robot, the face of that robot is better than anything else. Like, the great thing about the Undersea Kingdom robots, that those are just like tin cans, That was pretty funny. I don't remember the robots in Flash Gordon, but those were funny for a different reason. I can't remember. They had robots in that, right?
Yeah, didn't they?
They did, but I can't remember what they looked like. I know that, yeah, definitely I'm in agreement with you that the robot in the Phantom Creeps is my favorite by a mile. But the other ones are have their respective, qualities that make them endearing or admirable. But yeah, I can't remember what those Flash Gordon ones look like, but
weren't they just like guys in suits?
They were, but okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture, but
let's see.
I'm
Flash
just finding
Gordon,
they're barely robots. They're just guys with
conquers the universe,
silver suits on.
Okay, let's see. I'm looking at picture. Well, you got the Rockmen. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
Maybe what? Maybe we didn't have robots? I was sure we did. But maybe not. Damn. I thought we did. I'm going to have to look back through that because I was pretty sure that there were robots in Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, but just looking through it, I'm not seeing any robots. So we might just be kind of Mandela affecting ourselves with this. Oh, what are you talking about? There was definitely a robot in Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe. Everybody remembers the robot. What do you mean I made that up? I hope I didn't, but I think I might have. But yeah, we'll do a little deep digging and we'll get that. We'll get some answers on that front because I legitimately want to know. But I couldn't find any in just glancing there. So I'll have to scrub through all the chapters on YouTube later. But anyway, I digress. We'll continue robot stream later. We'll see what and did you catch the title for the next chapter of The Whispering Shadow?
Yeah, next week's episode is called The All-Seeing Eye.
Ooh, okay. Sounds a little mystical. Hopefully. We'll see. And I don't know if we'll be doing that next Wednesday because obviously next Thursday is Thanksgiving, which, man, November is flying by. If I just, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's kind of scarily flying by. And so I am, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving, but it's definitely here faster than I was expecting. Especially when it felt like October kind of, not drug out because I love October, but October, had plenty of time to enjoy it. Now, I mean, we're just, before we know it, it's going to be, what, and then we're just, I mean, I like Christmas. I'm not an anti-Christmas person, but, just let's get through Thanksgiving first, and then we'll get there, I don't want to jump on it yet. Of course, it's just that time of year. Right, well, unfortunately, it's already out.
It's already out.
It's already out. It's all the Christmas stuff is coming out. So, but yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, though, we always usually waited until after Thanksgiving. I think that's appropriate,
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. It's you're a victim of the Christmas creep.
The Christmas creep. I love that. That's a great name for it. The Christmas creep. My goodness. That's what we should call whatever. We'll tie that into whatever Christmas stuff we do next month. We'll be celebrating Christmas. And I know I've been thinking about running Silent Night, Bloody Night for 24 hours, doing counter programming to 24 hours of Christmas Story, 24 hours of Silent Night, Bloody Night, which is a good little slasher, a good little Christmas slasher. Really like surprisingly enjoyed that. We'll have a new offering for our Christmas special next month, though. I think I've already said it, but if you don't know it yet, I'll just keep you in suspense about it. So I don't know if we'll do a mini next week. I don't think we'll do the Friday stream next week. I think we'll take all next week off. That's what we did last year, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take next week off, and then we'll come back the next week with, right back at it on Wednesday, and then on Friday with our feature. But before that, for Thanksgiving, we still have our Friday night movie. This Friday, we're going to be watching the immortal classic, The Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney Sr. If you haven't seen this, it's a landmark. It is, everybody knows or maybe has seen this picture of what the Phantom looks like. And I mean, it's still pretty horrifying today. I think it stands up as makeup. So in the pantheon, that's why the Phantom of the Opera falls in the pantheon of movie monsters, even though right off the top of the head, you may be familiar with the musical version or anything else. This is what cements Phantom of the Opera in the world of horror, is this adaptation, and in particular the makeup of Lon Chaney Sr. That's why everybody's like, okay, the Phantom's got to look terrifying. He's got to look ugly or gross. It's all comes from this film. And so And I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm excited to be. I mean, I haven't watched all these silent movies I tried to watch as a kid, and I can never sit through them all the way. So that is the nice thing about this show is it's forcing me to watch them all the way through and appreciate the artistry. And so I'm excited to do that for Phantom of the Opera. And of course, as always, Evan's going to be bringing us a delicious cocktail to pair with the evening's film in a little segment which we call
What were you drinking?
What Are We Going to Be Drinking on Friday, Evan?
On Friday, I'm taking us to the Phantom Zone. That's the drink this week. Is the Phantom Zone. It's kind of close to a chocolate martini. So this is equal parts vanilla vodka, creme de cacao, and heavy cream, and a little bit of cream of coconut. So welcome to Creamland.
Yeah, really. Seriously, my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna get stuck in all this cream in the Phantom Zone.
Yikes! It's, I hope that's cream and not ectoplasm. I mean, don't even get me started. Fanta. I mean, creme. It's gonna be getting all creamy up in here on Friday night. No, that's terrible. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for that cocktail though. That should be delicious. Nice change of pace. I think good for a silent movie. I don't know, something just kind of different about the sound of it. So we'll see how it tastes. But that'll be really good, and the movie will be fun. So you can join us on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, like I said, next week off and then back with Whispering Shadow 2 weeks from now at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you want to keep track of all that. You want to get the recipe for Evan's cocktail this week. You can go find that over on our Instagram page. We are over there at Scream Stream Show. We're also on X and TikTok, and we're somewhere else at Scream Stream Show. If you want to catch up on any of our past episodes, we're over there at Scream Stream Live. Of course, if you want to go find me on the socials, you can follow me over at X, over there at Spakenstein. And of course, Mr. Evan Sink is on Instagram and X at Caligari Cursed. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
If we ever do a branded liqueur for the show, can we do Screme de Cacao?
Ooh, I like that. Yes, sign me up for that. I think it'll be top of the merchandise line, Evan. I'll put it priority number 1. Rest assured. We'll get to brewing that right now. But until Friday, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.